Hi, everybody. This is Ayana Pope, and I am here today to bring to you another business spotlight interview. You know how we love to shed light on the great things going on in the community and beyond. And today I am here with the wonderful Francine Houston. How are you today?
Doing good.
You're doing good. Good to see you. You all may know her from Paradigm Television Network, which is a company that is umbrellaed under Ascended Volition L3C. Okay, so she has her own broadcast. I'm going to let you tell the people about yourself, but you all may know her from The Artist in You, which broadcasts on our very own Paradigm Television Network. And if you have ever tuned into her broadcast, you have gotten a chance to hear a little bit about her. But for those of you who have not, this is the time to get to know about Francine and what she's doing in our community. So, Francine, thank you so much for being with us. You could be anywhere else, but you're here with us. And so we're just so thankful that you're here with us. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I don't know where to start. I'm an author. I authored a couple of books. I just did a devotional and a affirmation book with a group of like 365 authors.
Wow.
Um, and I guess it just hit bestseller yesterday. I'm still learning how to do all of that, but somehow hit bestseller. I'm a designer. I make clothes. My job, I work in a apparel manufacturer and my job but I make the clothes for the military, so it's kind of like governmental. Um, I'm trying to think of anything else. I think that's about it.
So tell us about your books. You say you've authored a few books. So what's the name of your books?
um, well, my first book is Lupus Journey, and then I did another book called Life After. And I write poetry, so I wrote a book called Strength of a Woman. That's like my poetry book. And then I recently wrote another poetry book last year, and that was Random Thoughts. I did some anthologies. I did an anthology with a lady. I think, yeah, she's in Georgia. Her name is Valencia Wary. It was I Am Woman. I
Okay.
did that 2 years ago, and then last year I did another anthology. She's in New York. Akia Roberts. Oh yeah, she was on the show. Akia Roberts is from New York, but we did one about professionalism. So it's like 9 different authors. But I'm currently working on another book with a kid called Self Care in a Crisis, and like I don't know, everybody wanted me to write another book about lupus. So
So tell us about that. Why lupus? What's special about lupus
I
and
don't
why?
know, because I think because with the lupus journey book, I'm more personal. It's like really like transparently personal. I'm telling you about my life, what I'm doing. It's not
You deal with lupus?
yeah, I'm telling you like my life, but it's around the illness that I'm dealing with and like what's going on despite of me dealing with that. Like my first book, you journey from me being like before I was born, I'm like telling a story about my parents and me being born and like me before I got sick and then I became a Christian
Mhm.
and then got diagnosed at 18, but how I kept on going and I ended up still going through still getting going to college, trying to live a normal life. And people always say what's normal. What's not normal is people having to be in the hospital all the time and not be able to go outside and like have a regular job and enjoy their life. That's why I say a normal life.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to have that. Like I don't go to the hospital as much as I used to,
Yeah.
like in the beginning. And then the second book, I'm still like I feel like I'm still telling you about my life, but it's around a lot more of fashion stuff. Because before then I was in college learning stuff. I'm having like internships and different jobs. But then it's like I work regular jobs, but God kind of have me doing my businesses or learn about my businesses, but I'm still doing that in spite of the fact I'm still dealing with lupus on top of all of that. So it's like when they read the second book, everybody like, you still do fashion shows, you still do this, you still do that. Like, because I'm telling you, I'm kind of like telling you part of my life that's going
Yeah.
on around me besides that. So
You made a statement alluding to, trying to live a normal life, and I get what you meant, but I just want to let you know that you're living beyond a normal life. you're living a full life, and sometimes that's just hard for the everyday person, the typical person,
Mhm.
regardless to what. It's hard to sometimes just live a full life, and
Right.
you've managed to do that despite, lupus, despite whatever. You are still the host of your own TV show. You are still an author to several books. You
Mhm.
are in fashion. You, as I see here that you've given to me, you have a bachelor's degree in communication design and an associate's
Mhm.
degree in fashion design. So
Yeah.
I give it up to you because you're living a very full life despite of, and I love it. I love those kind of stories, and I think it speaks loud to those people, regardless to what we're going through, that we can press past adversity. We can press past what may come against us, even in our own bodies. And so I just want to acknowledge that, to say that you're doing a good job. you're doing a
Thank you.
you're doing a mighty, mighty good job. So, what? Give us the name of your business again. I know that you have two
Um,
businesses.
One is called Scenic Media. That's where I do like the books, but I've been doing like book covers for people too. Like I did a book cover for my cousin for her first book, and well, for a couple of people, I just been doing like book covers for them. But that's where the books is at. And then the other business is FH Designs, but people like to call my line Francine Houston, but like my business is, the line is actually FH Designs, but I don't correct them. But
Yeah.
that one is like is I started off business casual, even though my background, because I don't think I put that as an answer. My background, I had a job as an intern at a
Mhm.
fashion company, but I was doing the graphics for them. But then they taught me how to do the flats and stuff, so I was kind of doing a little bit of both. But I was urban back then, so I learned how to do urban stuff. But it was weird when I stepped out and did my own. I did the opposite. I did business casual. So
Wow.
I ended up I ended up doing more business casual, but now it's like I kind of laid back and I started doing more casual stuff. I started noticing now because
Mhm.
I'm thinking about making bomber jackets for guys and girls, like for the spring or something. So I'm just like, that don't even sound like business casual. So it's kind of like I'm trying to branch off to have, like, some stuff business casual, but then some stuff just casual because I don't think people wear suits all the time. So
No, I don't think so. I mean, I guess it depends on what profession you are in.
yeah,
You might have a very busy life where you're always in professional clothes. But
yeah.
I think that it's amazing that you are just thriving in your lane. Like, just be you, do what is given to you to do, and I think the right people will find you and support your brand. So kudos to you and your two businesses. Is it Scenic Media? That's how you
Yeah,
pronounce.
scenic media, like scenic media.
Yep, Scenic Media and FH Designs. Wonderful.
Mhm.
So, how long have you been in business for both of these businesses?
I started scenic like right after I graduated from college. That was like 2006.
Okay.
But I would have to say off and on because it was going really well back then. I named it Scenic Graphics because all I was doing was graphics and book covers and stuff for people. But I switched it to media in 2016 when I published Lupus Journey. So
Okay.
I don't know how
What made
many,
you make that switch?
because I started seeing that I wasn't just doing graphics. I was gonna start doing books, and I wanted to be in magazines and do articles and stuff like that. So I was like, I feel like it's more media versus me just doing graphics. So I switched to scenic media
Okay.
again because I wanted to just not just be.
Yeah. Expand your. I get
Yeah.
you. I definitely get you.
Yeah, so when I started writing books, I switched it because that's what I wanted to be under. And then for FH, I started that in like 2012. But like, how can I say it? By 2015, I had to take a small break for like a couple of months because I got sick. So then I tried to pick it back up.
Hmm.
But like for right now, I mean, since last year, I don't even understand how I did it. I was like on 90
Look,
milligrams.
look. I'm gonna tell you. That's how you
I
did
was
it.
on steroids because at first I shut everything down. When I got sick at 35, I shut everything down. I was like, back then I was on 100 milligrams in the hospital. Then they started dropping me once I left. But when I was on, I don't know how I did last year because I was on 90 milligrams of steroids, and I did my first fashion show last year in April. Instead of I did one in January this year, but last year was April. And this model came out of nowhere. I had a plus size model. I try to pick one all the time, and she was like, "I want a model. I want to be one of your models." And I made her a dress, and she liked it so much she bought it from me, and like she became like a customer, and I was just shocked. I'm like, because back in the day, I used to do a lot of stuff in Detroit, and I used to have like a model. She used to just like all my stuff, and she like, well, I work in the bank, and it was more business casual back then. She would buy my stuff, and I was like, I can't believe this, but I couldn't believe that I was on 90 milligrams of steroids, and I was making clothes, and people was buying them and everything, and I just didn't stop. I kept on going. I published the book, and I was like, how in the heck I'm doing this? Like I couldn't believe it. Like, and then after the fashion show, I ended up my legs ended up being swole. I took one day off.
Wow.
And I mean, one day off, I went back to work. I took it easy, but I kept on doing fashion shows throughout the whole year last year. I mean, I'm totally off the steroids now, but I'm looking back like I don't know how I did that. I just don't know.
Wow. I think that's amazing. And I know that, sidebar, I know that you're a believer, and I know that has a lot to do with that extra push that you have been able to write these books, and you've been able to create these items for people to buy. And we know that it's not in our own strength that we could do anything.
Yeah, that's God. Cause my cousin was like, "You might need to just say no. Like, are you okay?" Like, she became my assistant in the back, and like this time she helped out in the front and did videos for me and stuff. But she was like, if you don't feel good, just don't do the show, Francine. Just don't do the show. And I was like, I'm okay. I said, I ain't gonna miss no show. And then to come to find out, I had two shows in April, but the lady over the show got sick, and she was in the hospital until like July. So that made me like kind of slow down and take better care of myself. But I was still at home making outfits. Like, I had to go somewhere for my job to California, and I made me an outfit just to go. I was like, I made me an outfit. I'm wearing this when I go here. I made another outfit just for the fashion show that I was in July. Like, okay, I'm wearing this. So she was looking at me like, okay, if you really sick, just don't go. And I was like, I'm doing good. I'm now I look back like I don't know how I did that. I
Do
just
you think, would you say that it was your passion that kept you going? Like, you might have felt weak or tired in your body, but would you say that it was maybe just the passion for what you do that kept you alive and going?
it might have been. Yeah, I believe so.
Of
I
course
believe
not, but your passion for it.
yeah, yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
I'd be up writing, I'd be up doing stuff. And I was like, I don't I mean, yeah, it gotta be God.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So refreshing to hear how, even in a tough time, you were able to find the strength to persevere, to push forward. And sometimes we can't explain that other than to say it was God. And so I'm grateful that you pressed through, because now we have all these books. Now we have all these outfits, and you do fashion shows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for people to model and even purchase. And so
Mhm.
good came from it. Good came from that perseverance that you had. So what prompted you to start these businesses? Was it just a natural gift of yours? Did you always desire to have this kind of company? Did you ever foresee this?
Well, for the graphic slash media, it was like God was kind of telling me he wanted me to start a business like right after I got my degree, and I was still working somewhere or whatever. I mean, he didn't tell me like, okay, I want you to work. I just want you to do this job. But after a while, he was like, you need to just do your business. And I was like, I gotta do what? Because it's weird. It was the opposite. I told God I just rather work for somebody. I don't want no business. And he just basically told me, oh, okay, that's what you want to do, but this is what I want you to do. And I was
Oh
like,
wait.
yeah. So
What
I
do you say to that?
had
Yeah. Well, thank you for your obedience. It's definitely paying off and affecting people's lives. As you said, the young lady just purchased an item right there, and she was just supposed to be modeling.
Yeah, she's just supposed to be modeling, and I was just like, and she was just like, "Well, you don't know it, but I'm gonna buy what you made." And I was like, "What?" Because I'm just so used to making stuff, and if they buy it, they buy it. Like I was just making it because I had to make it for you. Like I picked you as my model, but I sent her a picture. Um, I sent her a picture of what I made, and she just paid me on the spot, and I was like, "What?" I was just shocked. And that, I mean, just now, well, it's been a minute, but she wanted me to make her another dress, and I got to start on that like this month or next month. But I was just shocked. I was just
Francine,
like,
I'm gonna say this to you, and I'm tapping outside of the host mode. Um,
okay.
expect more of that.
Okay.
Expect more of that. Yeah, expect more of that.
Okay.
You're gonna be doing what you're doing. You're not gonna think nothing of it. You're gonna just be doing what you're doing, and I believe that you'll find that more people will just buy it from you, and it'll blow your mind every time. But um, get used to that. Okay.
Well, I receive it. Okay.
So tell me what makes your business unique. I know that you talked about, you start off in the beginning, kind of like on the urban side, and then
Mhm.
you are now kind of contemplating doing what kind of jackets you said?
A bomber jacket.
Bomber
I was
jackets. So
looking.
what makes your business unique?
Um.
Or,
hmm,
or even your books, your fashion or your books, whichever.
uh, for my books, I guess because make it different because I was writing about my health. Most people write about love. Nothing against that, but I have a love story. I'm just writing these. So I
Yeah,
mean,
only write about what I know, what I
I
got.
just wrote about what I knew. So I'm just like, I used to think when I was writing this book, I said everybody likes relationships, they like love, they like this, like they like money. I said, I don't know if anybody gonna buy a book about lupus, but I was surprised when people was buying my book.
Yeah.
So I just said, I think what makes it unique is because I guess because I'm different. And I just wrote about what I knew. And
Hmm.
as far as FH designs, I ended up losing a whole lot of weight, and I was really really small. And when I started fashion school, I was trying to go on interviews, and the lady used to have a pile of clothes for me to wear, and I used to have to try them on. I was like, I'm gonna have to make some stuff to go with this. So FH came out of me needing to wear some clothes for interviews. So I don't know if that made it different or what, but that's where it started from.
What I find that people support brands, especially like brands and companies, for the story that's behind it. And I think that that's powerful that you took a situation that could have maybe defeated somebody or discouraged them or made them feel down. And instead of being a woe is me, you just stepped up to the plate and start making your own stuff. And so I think that's a very powerful mindset to have, to say instead of woe is me, hey, let's do it. Let me step up and do what I have to do. And I think that's amazing that you, oh my goodness, as a woman, I can say that sometimes that we can just looking at you, Francine,
Mhm.
nobody would maybe be able to tell the strength that you have. And I think even sometimes we may sleep on ourselves. We may sleep on ourselves on the strength that we have. And before we know it, we're moving through these trying seasons. We're moving through these tough times, and we're just making it happen. And I just love that you just said, hey, I'm having a hard time with these clothes. I'm just gonna make my own, and I'm gonna keep it trucking. So I think that's just amazing. You are impeccable.
Yeah, because it was weird because she had a pile of clothes, and I was like, I can only fit this jacket. What's going on? Like,
Wow.
because with lupus, you never know. Either you get too big, because last year I got too big. I was on the 90 milligram steroids. They was tapering me down, and I was just every time everything I had at home wasn't fitting right, and I was like, I'm gonna have to make outfits just to go to. I had to go to Anaheim, California for my job. I
Hmm.
was like, I had to make an outfit because we had to dress up one night. And I made a like this gold jumpsuit. Well, I put it in a fashion show, but I made the gold jumpsuit for me to go to Anaheim. I
Okay.
had to have something to wear, there. And like all my clothes wasn't fitting right because my body is like when you take the steroids, your body is shaped weird and
Mhm.
you can't fit stuff. So I had to make something fit me so I could go.
Would you say that creating helped to I mean, of course, you noticed the changes that were going on
Hmm.
your body. Would you say that creating things helped kind of take the attention away from maybe noticing like, oh, I lost weight or oh, I gained weight? Do you think that
Right.
like, shifted your attention?
Yeah, because I got tired of everybody was like, "What's going on with you? Why your face swole up?
Mm,
Why your stomach big?" Like when I was at work, everybody was like, "Something ain't right with Francine. She not looking well." Like I was at work, everybody was like, "You're not looking well." And then when I was on dialysis, I got down after I got off of there, I was a size 0. So it took me forever to find clothes. So
mm.
it's like either I go from one extreme to the other, and it's like the only thing I could think of is I gotta start sewing clothes again until I get back to a regular size where I can fit stuff again.
I'm going to ask you this question because you are both an author and a business owner of two businesses. So I kind of
Mhm,
sway between the kinds of questions that I'm asking because people need to know the insight of what you go through when you have
mhm,
when you deal with the condition that you have. So
mhm.
how do you deal with people when they say make certain comments or they ask you questions or maybe look at you like something's different? Like how do you navigate through that?
Um, when it was happening most of the last year, everybody was asking me, I was like, I'm on medication. They thought I was having a baby. I was like, no, my sister is pregnant, not me. I am not pregnant. I said, I said I am on meds. I am sick right now. Because
Yeah.
there was this Asian lady in my job. She like, you have a baby? I said, no, no, no. I'm sick. I'm sick. I'm just I'm gonna be off of medicine because the thing is, it didn't look like I was pregnant. My stomach wasn't like extremely big. It was just my face was swelling up a little bit.
Mhm, mhm.
So I was just like, no, no, I'm just not feeling well.
I want to ask you this before I move forward. What would you tell someone like now, if you were to speak to the audience that's watching or listening? What would you tell them? What would you suggest to them as far as maybe certain questions or remarks that they might ask? Like if somebody just says, "Are you pregnant?" That could be offensive.
Yeah.
That could be offensive. So is there a way that you would suggest or would like to extend, hey, this is what you should do or not do when you see a person that you don't know a person's circumstances,
Right, right.
and
Just
so
don't I wouldn't say don't assume that they pregnant. Like, you know,
that's anybody too. That's
ask
any.
is ask is everything okay? Because I remember they went up to this one lady and she was just fat and she ain't had no baby. And they was like, is she pregnant? I was like, this is not funny. It's not funny at all. And then there'd be
Mhm.
some people that's actually pregnant, you just can't see it. Like it was a lady at my job, she wore big coats and she was actually pregnant. Her face wasn't small, her face was like normal, everything. She just had a big stomach, but she wore a coat, you couldn't tell. But I just think it's kind of offensive just to assume
Yeah,
things like no.
yeah. And I ask you that because oftentimes, unfortunately, people don't really think before they say things or they speak to people. And so we never want to just offend. So there's a way to ask questions without going too far to the left or to the right. So I want to ask you moving forward, what has been your greatest challenge in your entrepreneurship journey and your
Mm,
greatest reward? So your greatest challenge and your greatest reward.
I was gonna say money, but now it's just like I have to go past that with creativity. Like I have to figure that out. But sometimes my greatest challenge sometimes be my health sometimes with me dealing with the even though I'm an entrepreneur, just trying to go around that. But
Mhm.
as the business itself, um I think one time my computer was acting up real bad. No, when I first about to do Lupus Journey, my computer broke on me. And this wasn't even the computer I'm using. I was on a PowerBook and the PowerBook went out and my book was actually inside my computer and I had to ask my one friend, her name is Becky. She had to literally, like, my computer was like dead. I don't know how she did. She retrieved my hard drive and got my book out of there. So that was like the really, I couldn't say that was a challenge for me because I didn't think I was going to publish the book if I couldn't find it. It wasn't on a flash drive or anything. She got it all out of there and was able to put it for a flash drive, and after that, that's when I published the book.
Wow. So, note to self and note to everybody in the audience: if you're writing anything, be it if it's a book or a paper or anything, save and save often,
Yes, yes.
just in case something happens. So, save and save often.
And I think one challenge was, I think it was a long time ago because I used to have my one sister help me. She is a hairstylist and she used to do the makeup. I was starting to get, that's when I found out I was starting to get symptoms of a kidney failure or whatever. And I had a show that day and my face was looking weird and I couldn't fit none of my clothes. So
Mm.
she had to give me a pair of her jeans and I was like, something's not right, and I put makeup on and I did the show. But my biggest challenge was should I stay home or not? Because after I did the show, eventually I had to go to the hospital to see how I was doing our urgent care. So sometimes it'd be like,
So,
if
you pressed through even that moment?
yeah, yeah, because they were just like, if she don't show up, they gonna make Tina do my set. And my sister said she not gonna do that because she was just there to do the hair and makeup. She was like, I'm not taking your spot. Like you are the designer. I'm the I'm the hairstylist and I do the makeup back here. I'm not gonna do this. And I prayed. I think I went to church 2 times that day and I got prayer. My face went back down. I looked at normal. I did the show. I looked at normal to myself, but one of my older sisters that live in like Portland, Oregon, she was like, Francine, you looked sick in that picture. She was the only person that knew that I was sick on that picture, besides my other sister that was doing the hairstyling. And I was like, I was. I was like, how in the heck you knew? I was trying to cover it up. She was like, I can tell. If you sick, you better go to the doctor and see about that. And I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
I could fool some people, but some people I can't fool. So I took the time and took care of myself after
I'm
that.
so glad. I'm so glad you did.
Yes.
Care of you. And that's just something, for everybody, but especially women. Like
Mhm.
we have a thing where we do push through because everything needs to get done. So something needs to get done, and so we only trust ourselves to do it, and and all that. But
Right,
I'm so glad that you went to go see about yourself and take care of you, because there's only one you.
right, right.
Good, good, very good. And what's your greatest reward? I know you said money. That
Well, one of my greatest awards was I wanted to be in this magazine in New York. Like they reached out to me and I was like, I should just do it. And I don't know if I had to pay to be a part of it. Like some magazines you gotta pay to be a part of. So I
yeah.
paid the fee or whatever and I basically wrote an article about my life after dealing with lupus and having a flare up, and how I ended up working for the government making military jackets. Like I just started working there like in 2015. They was just like, somehow you got a award. And I was like, what? I ended up getting this Women of Excellence award, and I ended up getting 2 free tickets somewhere. And I don't know why I never used the tickets. I wish I would have retrieved them. At that time, I was just recovering from being sick, but they lasted for like a year or so, and they gave me 2 free plane tickets. I wish I revived them. I didn't, but that was like my biggest reward to me was to get that award, and then they gave me some plane tickets or whatever. So
Okay. Well, look at you. That's a big accomplishment. So you're in magazines and everything. Like that's. Look, I'm speechless. I'm speechless. You're not just living a normal life. You're living a full life. And so, hey, I take my hat off to you. So, what have you learned in your time as a business owner?
um,
You're author.
I think I wrote that you were the business, and like if you want the business to grow, you have to grow. So I was trying to focus on growing myself and learning more about business. I used to like me and my sister used to always go when our business was low, we'd go find our business friends and like go to all their classes and learn from them
Yeah.
and ask them questions like what I'm doing wrong. Like I had my one friend, her name is Adrian. She's over the Flint suit. I used to go to her a lot, but now I've been like looking online, trying to learn from the people online too. Cause I was like, it's somewhere I'm doing something wrong. Or I try to go to a lady I used to do business under. I asked her for advice and stuff like that. So yeah.
I like that. You are the business, and a statement that you had, mentioned in that, at least, in your response
Mhm.
before the show was, it grows when you grow. It starts with you until you hire others. And
Yeah.
so, I think that is a very great tip for other entrepreneurs that as you grow, your business grows. So I'll put that in my hat as well. Who would you say that your business or services are for?
Um, well, for the books, I say it's for people who deal with lupus or know somebody who deal with lupus.
Yeah.
People who struggle with self care. Like, I wrote a book about trying to be the superwoman, and I used to have that bad. I'm still trying to take my cape off. So, um, as far as the clothes, people who want to be comfortable, because at first everything was just targeted towards. At first everything was targeted towards business casual because that was like my main problem was like I need to wear clothes for interviews. But now it's like, well, dang, I want to be comfortable too. Because sometimes you get these business casual clothes and they like really uncomfortable, but you like I'm gonna suck it in and wear it anyway. So I
Hmm.
just started just like, okay, well, I'm gonna make business casual clothes comfortable. But then I started, I don't just have that now. I got casual clothes. So people who want to be comfortable either in business casual clothes or just casual clothes.
Awesome. Well, I'm all for that. You said comfortable. I'm all in. Like if I can't be comfortable, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to go. I don't want to. So that sounds like your fashion line is for me.
Okay, okay.
um, Next question I have for you: do you have any upcoming events, or were there any events that recently passed? Um,
Um, yeah, we just I just did a fashion show January the 21st.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it was in Florida.
How'd it go?
It went really well. It went really well. I enjoyed myself. Yeah,
Very
like
good.
mine's,
Very
I wish I could have made like all the clothes because I had a lot of fabric. I wanted to make all the clothes I had, but then I realized a lot of the fabric I had wasn't for the winter time, so I got to like split it up, like half
good.
winter, half summer.
Yeah, yeah. Well, spring is coming. We only got what is January now, March 20th.
Mhm.
I'm counting the days.
Yeah.
I'm counting the days. So, so do you have anything coming up where someone can maybe come out to support you and see your work?
I know I'm gonna see that particular brand. They had a show in May, so I'm gonna see if she gonna have a spring show in April or May. Um, as far as uh, as far as my books, well, I'm waiting for vendors, but right now everybody like, no, it's too cold, so I have
Okay.
to wait for those.
Okay.
Um, but as far as the fashion show, I know it's a spring one coming up. So I got
Okay.
to see about when they're going to do that. And I usually do, it's another company I usually work with called Beauty and Me. But he
Mhm.
usually do stuff in the summer and in the winter time. So I think I got a little time to start working on spring stuff.
All right. Go ahead. Go ahead. You just keeping it moving. Keeping it moving.
Yes, yes.
So, how can new customers reach out to you? Phone number, email, if you have any social media handles.
My Facebook is just Francine Houston. My Instagram is francine.l.houston.
Okay.
You can email me at francehouston@gmail.com. My websites are www.francehouston.com. That's my books. I still got to post the rest of my books up there. And as far as the clothes, it's just www.f slash just a slash h designs.com.
Awesome. So I hope you all caught that. We will make sure that we post these handles, these contact pieces of information in the comments so that you all can who watch this on social media so that you can know how to reach Francine Houston, how to follow her. Um, Francine, I just thank you so much again for taking this time. I think you're one of my longer interviews. Usually I'm like 15, 20 minutes. But you have such an amazing story and just persevering. And when I listened to your story, when you were just talking about your business, of course, and how even on your bad days, through your
Yeah.
tough seasons, you were able to persevere and push through, and you didn't know how you were going to do it. It made me think about Philippians 2:13, where it says, "For it is not your strength, but it is God who is effectively at work in you, both to will and to work." He's strengthening, energizing, and creating in you the longing and the ability to fulfill your purpose for his good pleasure. And so I think you exude that verse right there. You exude that, and you are
Amen.
doing that. You are doing that. So kudos to you. Kudos to you. I appreciate you and thank you for spending time with us today. For those of you who are watching right now, I want to thank you as well for tuning in to watch this Business Spotlight interview. Stay tuned for more. There will be more to come. This Business Spotlight interview was brought to you by Ascended Volition L3C. We love to hear about the stories. We love to hear about your business and want to push you forward in what you're doing in your business. So please reach out to us if you would like to be spotlighted to talk about your business, your book, your brand, whatever it is that you're doing in the community. We love you so much, and I will talk to you soon.